Okay. Okay, but good morning all. Yes, good morning all. You got a holiday and we will back for the studies again, no? Yes. The holiday is finished. We will go back for the studies. Okay. Yes. Okay. Shall we move? Did you remember? If I take the last time works. Okay. Did you remember? If I take back the last time works, what are they included? We discussed about the computational thinking and programming part. Did you remember? We discussed some computational thinking and the programming part. So, according to that, we are running some conditions. That programming part, we running some condition. According to that condition, they are having several outputs. So here you can see if age, I take the keyboard input as age. The age, first of all, you take that one as an integer value. Yes. If the age is less than 16, what happened? If the age is less than 16, you can see there are read you are allowed to join. Otherwise means not less than 16. Print, sorry, you are not, you are too old to join. Like that. So actually we are taking the test data at input value as 10. 10 is actually less than 60 years. So it should be yes. So you are allowed to join. It should be have an output. You are allowed to. I think you already wrote this one. And I said wrote this one also. Did you remember? Other condition if test data 20. I take the input value as 20. Here the input value as I take this one value as 20. If age, input into age, okay, I type my age, okay. If the age is what? Again, the same condition. If the age is what? Less than 16, you are allowed to join. If age less than 16, you are allowed to join. But otherwise, sorry, you are too old to join. 20 is actually not less than 16, so it should be you are too old to join. You are too old to join. So output should be you are too old to join. You are too old to join. That should be the output. Clear? So sorry, you are too old to join. That should be the output. Okay. So here, according to condition, if it is less than 16, you are allowed to join. Otherwise, actually 20 is not less than 16. So you are too old to join, such that they are having output. If I can take the condition 16, actually I take less than 16. What happened? Actually, 16 is less than 16. No, 16 is equal for 16. So it's not less than 16. So it's not less than 16. So output should be what? You are too old to join. If less than 16, it's so like this. You are allowed to join. But it is not less than 16. 16 is not less than 60. So you are too old to join. You are too old to join. Okay? Like that. It should be you are too old to join. Okay. I said write down these two condition at home. I think you already wrote. If you didn't write, I give 2 minutes of time. Please write down. These two I said just write down at home. I think you already wrote. Okay. If you didn't write it. Okay. These two. They are having condition. If you are taken 16, it should be not less than 16. 16 is equal. If it is mentioned like this, equal or less than, it should be this one. Otherwise, it should be this one. Clear? Now you can take it. What is the difference? Equal or less than, otherwise less than. Okay? Write it down. Yes. Okay, write down them if you didn't write. Okay, otherwise it takes they keep some space. We will move forward. Okay, we have to move forward this. Okay, keep some space. We will move forward. Okay. We will move. I think. Okay, wait. And next, if you didn't write, okay, write it down. Okay, keep some space. I'll move forward. Yes. So today, they are having, we could have tested the program with lot of ages that were under 16 and lot of over 16 and through the worked. Okay, we see what happened. If it is under 16, if it is older. So the test program thoroughly means testing with the range of data. So you can test a program like that. You can test a program thoroughly means testing with the range of data, not only one data. You can test in with different range. They are having they are having several types of data. What are normal test data? Test data means data that accepted or within the bounds. Okay, if the data is accepted or within the bonds, if they are having specific bond, that calling normal test data. That's calling normal test data, data that are accepted or within the bonds. Invalid test data. Invalid test data means data that are not accepted. If I consider less than 60, it is not accepted, 17, 18, like that. Okay, here, if I take in the less than or equal 16, it is not accepted, 17, 18, 19. So that's calling invalid test data, not tested or outside the bounds. Boundary test data, boundary means on the boundary. If we consider 16, the boundary value is 16, such that, okay, data that may not accepted, but it is on the edge or isn't allowed. So such that consider things we are calling as what? Boundary test data. So in each program, you can classify the code into like that. Normal data should be less than 16 because it should be the consider one. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Invalid means it is not valid, not less than 16. That means 17, 18, 19, such that. Boundary is on the edge, like 16 actually, like 16. Okay, like that. Can you please write down this? This normal test data program can be thoroughly means testing the range of data. They are having range of data. Yes. So you have to consider normal test data, invalid test data, and boundary test data. Normal test data, data that is accepted. It is within the months. If we consider less than 16, it should be there. Invalid test data, data that are not accepted. It's outside the bound. Should be outside the bound. Boundaries data, data that may not accepted, but it is on the edge of what is or isn't allowed. Okay, what is or it is isn't allowed. Like that, you can classify data according to several considerations. So according to each one, you can classify it like this: normal, invalid, and boundary data. Normal, invalid, and boundary data. Okay, please write down. Thank you. 3 minutes of time. Okay. After that one, we will discuss. Okay, write down, please. Okay, write down. Yes, write down yes. Like that, we can classify data according to consideration. Yes. Then you got. There are having three types such that we have to consider boundary below or after according to boundary. You can classify it just like that. Okay, don't take much hard. Okay, think. Just think about. You can classify it according to any margin. Okay, right? Yes, right. Okay, like that. They are having three types. You can classify it. Normal test data should be what? Accepted with the boundary. Invalid test data is not accepted. It's outside in the boundary. Boundary test data it should be on the boundary. So there are three types: normal, invalid, and boundary test data. Normal, invalid, and boundary test data. You can classify it. Okay, can classify according to that. Find it out. This. Yes, write it. Okay, yes. Okay, so when we consider that one, okay, they are having three types. As previously I said, they are having three types: normal test data, invalid test data, and the boundary test data. According to several boundary value, you can write down the numbers. We consider boundary as 16. So we have to consider true as the below 16 value should be true value. So it should be the normal data. After 16 value, we are not consider as a true. It should be invalid data. Boundary is the 16, such that you can classify it. So we cannot but test every possible piece of data. The edge data to all to join could go all the way for the 100. So that is lot for the test. Okay. Normally we are not, we are consider some range. If you are sometime it may be correct, but it is not considered it very far for the with the boundary. So that is lot of test. So instead Select a reasonable number. For example, 70 is 80 is work. Then maybe jump for the 25. Then 50 because there are one boundary test. If this work, the test should be work. No need to consider all the three. Clear? You no need to consider all the three. Okay. Here a test for you. What is there? A program asks the user to enter number from 1 to 100. You have to type 1 to 100. So number should be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, such that up to 100. Okay, a message is output. A message is output if they enter number 1 to 100. Okay, an error message is output if the number is less than 1 or greater than 100. Less than 1 means 0.9, 0.8, otherwise minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Or greater than 100 means 101, 102. These are not selected. Only 1 to 100 value should be the what? Considerable value. So boundary should be 1 and 100, no? So boundary should be, you have to take the boundary as what? 1 and 100. Boundary, you can take 1 or 100. Consider like that. So normal value should be what? 2, 3, 4. Actually from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to what? Up to 100. Invalid 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Otherwise 101, 102, 103. These are invalid value. Boundary should be 1 to. Yes. Okay. Can you write down this one? They are having three conditions: normal, invalid, and boundary. First of all, write down this. A program asks to user to enter number from 1 to 100. Only write that one. After that, you can write the table. Only underline part. What is the consideration? What is the consideration with the activity? What is the consideration thing? You have to program asks to user to enter number from 1 to 100. Program asks what program asks to user to enter number 1 to 100. Okay, write down it. Right. Yes, no need write all. Yes, no need. Write what? A program asks to user to enter number from 1 to 100. So normal value should be 1 to 100. Invalid 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 because it's less than 1. Otherwise, greater than 100 also invalid by 101, 102, 103. They are invalid. And boundary you have to consider 1 and 100. That should be the boundary, your consideration value. Okay, write it down. I give only write underline part at the table. Okay, I will give you 2 minutes of time. Please write here. Write out. Yes. Okay, write it. Yes. Here the range, normal, invalid, and boundary. You have to consider that. Normal value, invalid, and boundary. Okay, write it down. Yes. Normal, invalid, and boundary. You have to consider them. Okay. Okay, that's considerable value because you are consider a program asked to user to enter number from 1 to 100. So range should be 1 to 100. You have to take the numbers 1 to 100. So invalid less than 1 should be invalid, like 0, -1, -2, -3. Otherwise 101, 102, 103, such that. Boundary you have to consider 1 and 100. 1 and 100 is boundary. Okay. So here's a test. You have to plan a previous learning. From the previous learning, you may have followed test plan, included a range of tests. They might have followed format of 1.14. Test data type, description, okay? So you can write it at a later, okay? Test plan. Okay, you have to think, what are the tests? Okay, you can take any test, like in the beginning we take what? The age less than 16 is the test. And previously we take, you wrote this or not? Previously we take a number from 1 to 100. There are two tests such that. Okay, two tests like that. So here they are taking the description with the test plan. You can take the description with the test plan. Okay, so we can create our own test plan for the program, making sure identify a range of the test data. Test plan is actually what? We can create a test plan. It can be identify the test data. So example, look at here, create table, followed the format of the 1.14. Here the format. Okay, according to this format, I draw a table. Each item of the data you identify with be a new row of your table. All of data should be identified with the new row of the table. So you can do this word processing of tab by the increasing a table or what? It can be write as a decreasing a table like here. Look at here. What is the description? Here the test data description. Okay. You can just write what test data subtopic. Okay, just write text data subtopic. Under that, what is the text data type? I take that as a normal. Description should be input from 1 to 100. Input data from 1 to 100. So if I take 2, it should be accept. If I take 99, it should be accept. Clear? If I take what? If I take 0, it is not accepted. If I take 101, it's not accepted. Because why? There are except the boundary. Okay. Just write the test data table, test data subtopic. And can you draw this table? Here a format for test data table. Here the format for test data actually. We create a table for testing data, but test data type, description, including test data type, description, example input, and the expected output. Accepted or not. That should be the final output. You have to consider them according to that. Example input and expected output. They are having test data type. If it is normal, it should be accepted. If it is invalid, it not should be accepted. It not should be accepted. It's better to write this one, no? Yes. Write this table. There are one column. because we can write the boundary also. Yes. Yes, yes. Write this one. It is better. Yes, yes. There and boundary. If it is normal data, it should be accepted. If it is invalid, not accepted. In the boundary, what happened? It's accepted. Accepted, but it is nearly accepted. Yes. Okay. It's accepted, but it's nearly, just near. Okay. It's accepted by nearly. Okay, can you write down this table? There I have normal data, invalid data, and the boundary. Normal should be that accepted data. Invalid, it is not accepted. Boundary should be the nearly accepted. Okay, please write down them. I'll give 2 minutes of time again. Okay, yes, write it. This table with the test data. Write it down, let's write it. Yes. We can take a note like that. Yes. Here structure for this data. Okay, please write down that table. Here sample structure. It is not needed. Draw same like here. Okay. Here a sample for structure. Okay, write it down. Yes, write it down. Yes. Yes, right. Yes, like that they are having main features with what? Test data type normal, invalid, and boundary. Okay, there are three types. The normal data type and the invalid data type and the boundary data types. Okay, like that, yes. The three types normal, invalid, and boundary. Okay, so there are having several things here for examples. Like same thing, they are repeating, but you have to think there are three types normal, invalid, and boundary data. Okay, they are taking again and again that thing. Okay, so for here, a program asks the user to word 1024 bytes. Is the user enter the answer and the program will be output whether they got the answer correct. Okay, the user can enter the answer different ways. For example, a kilobyte, look at the program different possible answer. Input, what is 1024 bytes? The answer is a kilobyte. Otherwise, it may be a kilobyte. What is the difference here? There are simple K and capital K. So they are having two answer like that. So both of them, if they are having both of them correct, if the 1024 is the correct answer, it should be here. Not only one, not only one. There are considered two answers. There are considered two answers. If like that, it should be correct. There are considered true answer. It should be correct. Otherwise, no, it is a kilobyte. No, it is a kilobyte. No, it's not like that. Can you write down this box part? Only the coding. You can identify. Sometimes they are having more than one what? Valid or invalid data. Actually, valid data. There can be having more than valid data. So you can write like this. Sometimes kilobyte write it like this, otherwise like write it like that. Okay, both of them. They are consider both of them are correct. What happened? They consider the both of them are correct. Okay, write down. You can consider both of them are correct, no? Yes. Both can be correct. Write down them. Just write as an example there, okay? Yes. Okay, you can consider like that. Okay, there are two answers. Simple K and capital K. Both of them are correct. They are considered both of them are correct. Okay, write it. Such that sometimes they are having more than one answer, no? There can be have more than one answer like that. Okay. Yes. Write it. Okay, we'll move. I think you wrote this or no? Yes, already. For example, okay, you can consider like that. Okay, I'll move. So here is question for you. Okay, they are having some question for you. Lot of things. Okay, now you can do these questions. What is what are the three types of test data? I already say. What are three types? Normal test data, invalid test data, and boundary test data. Like that. Why do you test program multiple times? Okay, why? They are having a range of data. It not having only one or two data. There can be have more data that are acceptable. So you have to what? Check each and every value, not each and every value. At least a what? A pattern of some values. Okay, like that. Can you please write down the answers for them? Okay, for you, they are having a homework. Can you start write it? After that, we can do this one as a homework. Try to start first two questions at least. After that, we will do this one as a homework for you. Okay, write it down. Okay, so I think you can do this one at home as a homework. Please do these questions at home, okay? There I have some answers. Please do it. Okay. Check the summary also. And after that one, I will move for the physical computing on the next day. Okay. I will move for the physical computing on the next day. So please do these works and other things. Okay. Have and please refer the your classrooms. I upload that video, that practical things and other thing also. Please refer it. Okay. So I'll wind out the session for today. It's almost time up, no? Yes, yes. Okay, so I will wind up the time for session for today. So we will meet up on the next day. Okay. Yes. Okay. See you. See you next day. Okay. Good morning. Have a nice day.